Hello, this is Pastor Matthew Woods from Grace Lutheran Church in New Albany, Indiana, and this is the daily or weekly devotion for June 15, 2020. It's the little things. Last fall, we had a little mouse get into our garage. We found this out in a very unusual way. Turns out we had to take my wife's car to the mechanic to get fixed, a little bit of work, and lo and behold, the mechanic found a newspaper nest inside the engine compartment. Now, I had just changed the oil a couple days before, and there was no nest there at that time. And no, Bill, it wasn't because of my work that the car ended up going to the mechanic, not this time. It was already a scheduled thing. So the little critter had built a nest using newspaper that was set up in a box on top of our freezer, which means that little thing went all the way to the top of the freezer, chewed off a little bit of paper, and carried it all the way back to the car compartment. And how many trips did this take to build that nest inside my wife's car? One can only imagine. It's actually really quite impressive when you look at it. Well, the mechanic told us that it's a good thing he found it because finding a newspaper nest in a hot engine, or what could become a hot engine, will lead to fires eventually. Well, later that same week, once you know, I changed the oil in my car, and you know what I found? In the time my wife's car was in the shop, a couple days, not even quite, I found that this little mouse had built a nest in my engine compartment. I should probably hire this little thing to help me with Vacation Bible School. I mean, wow, what a very ambitious little animal. Well, but unfortunately, the mouse had to go. You see, my wife is deathly afraid of mice, on top of the table afraid of them. So we made it our mission to evict the little tenant. We eventually managed to catch the mouse in a trap and put it outside a long way from the house and send him on his way. But what an impressive little worker this thing was. It's the little things, though, right? Are the little things really all that little? Consider what a colony of ants can accomplish, or termites, for example. Ever notice that the little things are really not insignificant at all? I mean, consider now Psalm 139 today with selected verses. I won't read the whole psalm, but I want you to listen to ones that we've picked. It says, "You have searched me, O Lord, and you know all about me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You know my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all of my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in and behind and before. You've laid your hand upon me. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber all the grains of sand. And when I awake, I am still with you." Did you notice all the little things in this one passage? Your thoughts. The Lord knows them. Your thoughts matter. How you think about others, yourself, all that matters. For out of the heart, Jesus said, comes things that make one unclean or clean. So as you think, you go. Your words matter. Countless passages refer to the power of the word, and we won't go into that today. We've done that already. But they can bring life or death. They can bring unity or division. Your words, what are they like? Are they colorful? Are your words uplifting? Are your words thoughtful or wise? Or hopefully both. How important is your inmost being? What's your heart's desire? How important is the way we treat our own bodies by what we eat, how we exercise, or what we do, and so on? God knows us down to the cellular level, according to this psalm, when our RNA and DNA patterns were woven together in our mother's womb. Give thanks for the eyes that can see, and the ears that can hear, and the legs that can walk. Recent days, if anything, especially this COVID thing, remind us how important our inmost being is, how it needs to stay healthy, and how critical that is. The Lord discerns my going out and my lying down. The Lord gets us, but the Lord also knows what our habits are, what our secret things are, and what it is that really makes us tick. If the psalmist could count the times that God thinks of us, it says those thoughts would outnumber the grains of sand, all the grains of sand on the planet. The things in us that the Lord is paying attention to are not trivial, nor really all that small. They're a big deal. Those things that do a lot to identify us, for example, the way we carry ourselves and the phrases we use, the unique mannerisms. Those things are usually subtle, but often trigger a memory of the people we associate those things with. Consider the little, seemingly unimportant things that pop out in Scripture. Jesus says the hairs on our heads are all numbered. Luke 12:7. Makes sense considering what we just heard in Psalm 139, how often God thinks about us. How about faith? Faith as small as a mustard seed. How often have we heard that one? And we know from Matthew 10:29-31 that his eye is on the little sparrow, and we are worth more than many sparrows, so don't worry. We see the love of Jesus and the love that he has for those like little Zacchaeus, who climbed a sycamore tree to see him as he passed through town in Luke 19:1-10. How about the widow's offerings of 2 pennies in Mark 12:41? Jesus said that widow gave more than all the others because she was willing to give all she had. And how powerful was the little boy's lunch in the hands of Jesus at the feeding of the 5,000 in John 6. 5 small loaves of bread and 2 fish. This little boy was willing to give all that he had to make whatever difference he could. The small things are not insignificant in Scripture. Consider marriage, for example. It's the little detail that can irritate or bless. A majority of marriage counseling that I do often revolves around little things like not picking up after yourself, or not helping with the kids, or not doing our part, not communicating because one or both prefer to be mind readers or something, not watching the budget. Do we really need all that stuff? Marriage can become brittle with hundreds of little chicken pecks, if you will, that finally build up and explode. But yet they are often fixable things. And that's the good news. Frankly, they're fixable things usually. The same can apply to friendships. The same can apply to relationships with coworkers or others. I think you understand what I'm getting at. It's the small things that can build up and become a positive thing because they've built up, or a negative thing. The good news is the little things are not insignificant. Why do you suppose the gospel records the words of Jesus saying, "Father, forgive them," as he's being nailed to the cross, or "Today you'll be with me in paradise," to the thief on the cross? Now, the crowds didn't catch these words or pay much attention to them because they were too busy mocking Jesus. But the gospel writer makes it a point to share them, and they're significant because we see in those sentences, those words show us the heart of Jesus as he's going to the cross. He's thinking about us. Those are the little "I love you" phrases. And yes, how important, how powerful are those 3 little words, "I love you," from a parent, from a spouse, or from church, or from Jesus especially. How important are those little things that we do to bring a little more unity to a divided country? A little more constructiveness in a time that is broken. A little more Jesus in a time that needs him. It's the little things. The little word of encouragement, the little act of love, offering a little extra time and effort, a little more kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The little things can often become the biggest difference. May the Lord bless the little things we do to be fruitful, helpful, and good, so that a little more of Jesus gets into our world. In Jesus' name. And now the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with his favor and forever and always give you his peace. God bless all of you. And by the way, a reminder to our graduates, we're celebrating this Sunday your graduation. So please get a hold of us by Wednesday. We'd love to get a picture from you, as well as some where you graduated from and where you're headed. We'd like to know a little more about that so we can celebrate those things with you. In the meantime, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being with us. Take care.